there we go. Of course I gotta change name. So,
Okay.
Tell them what they missed.
Okay. Alright, so we pretty much missed absolutely nothing. The NizzlesShizzles are on the left side of your screen this time, so they are on the order side. Spitfire are on the right side of your screen, they are on the chaos side. NizzlesShizzles have banned out Hell and Sun Wukong. Spitfire have banned out Circuit and Capri. Mexiety is the first pick of the NizzlesShizzles. The question is, what are they going to go for?
I was going for the more important thing that they missed, which was the end of the last game.
Oh,
yeah, remember? Remember?
Yeah, that's kind of important. Sadly, we kind of had to go out of Spectator due to a bug with it. We can't do anything about it. But Spitfire did win last game. And so that's a big thing for them. They were able to take out that first game, and now if they win this one, they will get first place. If not, there will be a third game, and whoever wins that third game will decide who wins this entire tournament. NizzlesShizzles picked up Janus, first pick. Spitfire followed up quickly with a Bellona Geb, and now NizzlesShizzles are holding on to their second and third picks.
Several options on the table, and really it's a question of what hit them the hardest that they maybe would want to consider taking away. 15 seconds up, so it's really taking their time with this, or we may see a restart oh, there we go. That was odd. It then bounced back to 40. Again, we're having a lot of spectator bugs today, so Athena and Hunbots get locked in.
But again, like they've picked up Humbats, and I think this is probably Mexiety going, okay, well, we tried to do the Wheelish against the Humbats and it didn't work out too well. Let's try it the other way around, see if they fall into the pit, because we know how to deal with the Wheelish. We've done it before. We can do it again. Doesn't matter. However, Spitfire pick up the Hu-Yi, who actually did a pretty good job. He was able to keep Fearno busy, which is something you don't really want to have. You don't want to keep him busy. Medusa's going to get banned out for the side of Spitfire. Why did I say that so weirdly? But I mean, it's expected because Fearno, last time we saw him go on Medusa, it was 11, 1, and 12 or something like that.
Something around there.
It was painful. It's definitely someone you should ban, and they actually did it last time around, so forcing it onto a god that, even though he may not, it may not be his best one, he's still going to like them. It's just not his best. And that's the biggest thing. It's like banning Snoopy against, banning Ram against TSM.
Banning Snoopy against Rama? Same thing, really.
Yeah.
We are going to see a Wheelish banned out by NizzlesShizzles. They decide just don't even want to mess with it. So, however, Thor is still on the table, and Thor does reasonably well against Tunbots early. So that's an option.
Yeah, that is definitely an option. It's actually quite interesting. It almost feels like they're actually very much respecting Bellona, the mollusk, in his jungle role. So they feel like he is actually a better jungler, and he knows what he's doing in most different places. So the best thing to do is actually try and ban him out in certain bits, like the Wheelish, to make sure that he doesn't have that good matchup, and to try and find a worse matchup for him, almost, is what they're trying to do. Ullr is going to be the hover on for the side of the NizzlesShizzles, as Noir was locked in for the side of Spitfire, and Aphrodite. We haven't seen her all tournament, and that's the lock-in.
And Aphrodite will be locked in. That's going to be a solo lane Aphrodite, or a mid lane with a solo Janus. Last pick going to Spitfire, looking for a jungler. And there are some options that could really shut this down.
Yeah, like they can go for the Thor, which is probably what they'll do, but they can have a lot of different... They can have quite a few different ones. That's a big one, though, and that's actually going to go through.
Yep, Odin is going to get picked up for the jungle. I like it, especially against an Aphrodite. Something else that was not picked or banned was Hell. Hell could have been played, but again, Hell truly...
Hell was banned.
Alright, never mind, Hell wasn't banned.
By the
Pardon. Hell,
don't worry.
But again, Hell was a thought. But no, Aphrodite does well. That is going to be going to Dante for the solo lane, which, if anything, means that we'll probably be seeing a little bit more time from Odin in solo than Odin in mid. With a jungle... Oh, wait, no. Alright, solo Bellona up against Aphrodite. Aphrodite has slightly better lane clear, so I would expect to see her do reasonably well there, but at the same time, Odin can come over and totally shut her down. Compared to a Batz against a Bellona, Bellona just pops, Eagles rally, and runs away as well, so...
Well, I mean, more importantly, just have a look at everyone on the NizzlesShizzles. If Odin goes on to someone, who is he going to go on to? He go on to the Janus, who's got really easy escape, so he's got to try and get away from the walls. Like, if he gets a wall in there, Janus can get out.
Well, yes, but the thing is that there are plenty of spaces where he can get him, like mid lane, just drop it right in the middle, and there's no walls to grab.
Yeah. Not to mention as well, though, they have the Humbats, so if Odin does put the cage down, Odin could just, or Humbats can just ult on top of it to make sure that Janus can't be taken out that easily, so they can't use that much, and you can effectively combo sort of the banish as well from Janus's portal to along with Humbats' ultimate to effectively make sure that you can't do anything while in Odin cage, which is quite a nice idea. And then to top it all off, if they went for the dual lane, Athena and Ullr, they have ways of getting out. Although Athena has to use her ultimate, she's not really going to be that weak in the middle of the cage. She's going to be pretty strong, and they can escape it pretty easily. And then over on the solo side, it's an Aphrodite. She's not going to have any way of getting out apart from building a combat blink. She does have some form of damage immunity, but then she has to use that either on a Bellona, who's going to be slowing her down quite a bit, using the Frostbound Hammer, which I imagine we'll see pretty early on, or the Odin Bird Bomb combo, which she'll probably use it most likely on, but that comes up pretty quickly, and then you've got to deal with the Bellona afterwards. It's probably the easiest target on the NizzlesShizzles, because they made it the easiest target on the NizzlesShizzles. So we're going to have to see what the rest of them can do, because Atomic's been focused quite a lot in that past game. Atomic got focused heavily.
This is true. This is very true.
This is trying to make sure that Atomic isn't going to get focused. Instead, they're putting it on someone else who they think can actually hold with that damage.
This is true. This is very true. And again, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We'll be back in about 45 seconds to a minute while we do get ready for everything to get rolling. Once again, this is game number 2 of the final. Spitfire does have a lead over the NizzlesShizzles 1-0. So if Spitfire wins this, they send NizzlesShizzles packing. Otherwise, NizzlesShizzles will force a game 3. We'll be back in just a moment. Alright, we are back. NizzlesShizzles up against Spitfire. Once again, NizzlesShizzles in the blue, bottom side of mid-map, left-hand side of your spectator. UI Rachetier in a bit of trouble. On that, Athena in the dual lane with Fearno on Ullr, Atomic in the mid lane as the Janus, Mexiety as your jungling Hun Batz, and DanteLeFargo as your Aphrodite in the solo lane.
Meanwhile, on the side of Spitfire, we're going to see Turnip and Typhlosion as your Hui Geb dual lane. Over in the mid lane, it's going to be Noah on that space skin being played by DanteLeMidget. Then in the jungle, it's going to be Mollusk playing Odin. And finally, to round off everything, is going to be Balentine playing Bellona in the solo lane.
Yep, going to be very interesting to see how this all does play out. We were talking briefly between the breaks that WizKid thinks that it's going to be NizzlesShizzles because there's going to be too much emphasis, on the solo lane coming out from Spitfire. But at the same time, I'm inclined to think that Spitfire may have a very solid counter here. That said, I am liking this combination to clear things out that Shizzles are using to clear out this speed buff camp very quickly for their mid laner and their...
Well, it's not just that, but they actually wanted to try and do the invade, but it was already called out by Spitfire with this ward. They already knew that they weren't doing the damage buff, so they just went straight into lane. Look how much damage Fearno's already taken from this.
Yep, and Fearno doesn't have any lifesteal, and he already used his potion, so he needs to be careful here. Of course, once he hits level 5, he can get a little bit of lifesteal off of his axe stance, but that's only once he hits level 5.
Yeah, and not to give you an idea of how much this is, it's 5% physical lifesteal. That's less than what Devourer's Gauntlet's level 1 gives you. So
that's less than what
that's 7%. Yeah. So it's basically nothing.
So at level 1, it is very, very low. But again, we're seeing some aggression coming up from Spitfire in the dual lane, and it's a very, very smartly done one where they're able to clear out very quickly, and now they can go back and do their purple buff without too much fear of reprisal. Both Fearno and Rachetier may want to try and invade now, which is very, very risky. I would rather see them try and push the wave than try and invade here, personally.
Well, they don't even need to push the wave. They probably should just stall it. They are trying to invade. They do successfully make them leash that big minion, so the buff is still up, potentially. They can still turn around on this, but they've got to be very careful. They've all hit level 3 at exactly the same time. They're all on the same XP amount. They just need to do what they can. And we actually see the mollusk finally rotating over to make sure that this attack speed buff is going to go to
Solo.
this side. Yeah, solo. Big rotation. But I think actually Balentine knows about this.
Yeah, Balentine sees it, Mexiety, just gonna walk over to lane and clear some stuff out and be perfectly fine. Oh, actually gonna go in on a Balentine. Balentine says, "Alright, you, back off," and smacks him in the face with both a shield and a scourge. And now we're gonna see them come down to do DanteLeFargo. Actually, they're not gonna do DanteLeFargo's blue buff yet, which I find very interesting. I thought that they had done it earlier, but I guess not. That's odd. Very odd.
Instead, I think they wanted Mexiety in the mid lane just because the mollusk was here, and it was like, I don't want to be on my own. Please come help me. I don't want to die.
I'm just marking that we're 3 minutes in and the blue buff hasn't been done yet, that's all.
Yeah, the blue buff still hasn't been done, but I mean, it does force Mollusk to be a little bit more careful than what he was. Balentine, again, wanted to do this, and actually, here's the big thing. The blue buff has been done. It's just there is one small minion left.
Well, that hurts somebody, and I'm pretty sure that somebody is Dante, and Balentine says, fine, I'll just let you not take your blue buff. And now he's going to actually zone DanteLeFargo out, going to get aggressive onto him a little bit, says, that's fine, I can take some of this poke.
Dual lane.
Do a good job of that. Oh, yes, dual lane.
Atomic gets caught in the cage, he tried to ult through it, and that's going to be the end of it. Gonna get bloody blocked away from his normal portal as well. The Mollusk got to be careful. Nice jump away. Mexiety tried to predict where the Mollusk was going, but predicted wrong. And that means that he's going to be able to get away safely. Is the Mollusk. First blood going to Spitfire.
Indeed. And first blood, as we said, you know, yes, Janus, if he can get to a wall, wonderful. But at the same time, if he gets caught in that cage, there's not a whole lot that the robot can do. And so the god of portals and doors sees his first life get shut behind him. I'm trying. Yeah. I'm sorry, Soza's not here. Yeah. I'm trying.
Yeah. You were trying just a little bit, but unfortunately, puns are just like the trapdoor of casting. Like you just can't quite get through in some stances. I don't know where I'm going with this either. So let's
go with the you just fall into it. You can't get yourself into it.
Yeah. Okay. Ullr took quite a bit of damage. Typhlosion actually took more in the return, with a lot of Fearno's abilities being procced on top of him.
Alright, so mid camp's getting split 1-1, and actually both of them being done by just a singular person as well. Right side being done by Mollusk, and left side being done by Atomic. Atomic just going to zip away and be perfectly fine. Janus, again, one of these characters where the longer he's out, the more interesting he becomes, because people find every single little wall that you can portal through and all the different angles, and it's so cool to see. Okay, cool. You can go through this portion right here, no problem, and it's not scary. When Janus first came out, it's very scary of, wait, can I get through this part or that part? I don't quite know. So it's the little things.
I can't remember who it was yesterday. But yesterday on the SPL, there was someone playing Janus. Actually, Fearno got stunned out on the left-hand side, forcing Rachetier to use the taunt onto Turnip, just to make sure that he couldn't follow up with more damage. But I don't know, I can't remember who it was. Again, fighting in the mid lane, Typhlosion takes out Mexiety after another cage from Odin, just make sure that he can't escape. And now they're going to start off the gold jury. Janus is here. Athena does have her ultimate if she wants to TP in. She's going to go onto the Janus. Janus trying to go in. Spitfire is already taken out with the Eagle's Rally and the Hui ultimate used, just to make sure that they got it early. And this is another big win for the side of Spitfire as they take out the gold jury.
That's a huge... It's a very early Gold Fury, so it's not worth as much as it would be later, again, due to the Gold Fury changes. However, they are still now 2,200 ahead in gold and 1,700 ahead in experience, and DanteLeFargo trying to get back over to solo lane to compete with his opposing solo laner, excuse me. Dante rushing into a Breastplate of Valor to try and handle some of the poke from Balentine. Gonna do alright with that, but again, taking a significant amount of poke, all things considered. Sure, she can heal it up, but it's awkward. you know, it's an awkward position to be in. Balentine's perfectly fine, even if he is 1 versus 2 right now. He doesn't care, he's a level ahead.
Well, he doesn't know he's 1 versus 2. Mexiety coming around from the backline, doing quite a bit of damage. The slow comes out as well. Balentine already on a half health. Mexiety taking a lot more. Now Rachetier's in here as well. The taunt's going to hit. Mexiety doing a little bit more damage. The mollusk is around. Blue War ultimate is going to come out just to show where everyone is. Now mollusk is going to go into his using his ultimate. DanteLeFargo does have his own ultimate if he needs it. Going to be forced to use it there. Then the ultimate. No, it's not going to hit. Mollusk is in a big trouble. He's going to go down. Doesn't quite hit DanteLeFargo, and now Spitfire is panicking, running away. They realized that that probably wasn't the best place to be fighting there.
Yeah, went a little bit too deep. Good usage of ultimates across the board for NizzlesShizzles, quite frankly, and they will do all right for themselves again. Just getting baited a little bit too hard there. Typhlosion's going to fall to Rachetier as well, and that's going to be tying things up in the kill department now, 2-2. Though everybody on NizzlesShizzles is low on mana, and there's not a whole lot to take. And also, those 2 kills only brought it back to 1,000 experience disadvantage, as Spitfire, or Balentine, getting a little bit too aggressive here. Could have just done some serious damage to himself, but he should be all
He does have his ultimate. He can get out, but it will require his ultimate. Taunt going to come through. He's on the tower. He should be safe. They're not really looking for it. And also,
Odin.
Mollusk is in the background trying to kill out DanteLeFargo. Very low on health. Rachetier actually using his ultimate on the left-hand side just to get out. DanteLeFargo is finally going to go down. Mexiety is still here along with Janus in the backside if they really want to go in this, but I think actually this could be a tower going to Spitfire if they really wanted it.
Maybe. I'd rather just see them personally. If I was, on the team, I'd say, okay, just back off. Let's do our camps. Let's play safe again here. Get some rotations back into mid. Get some rotations back into the their right-hand side of the map. Because you see a lot going on over here. We see Fearno boxing Turnip. Turnip actually forced to use his ultimate, but he's going to get the stun off and finish him off as well. So, Turnip winning that duel just.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much how he works. You
barely
try
winning.
And duel someone. Yeah, barely is the best idea.
Keyword is the win, is the W, though.
Away. Yeah, as long as you get the win, that's all that matters, and he does get the first blood in that lane, well, for between the ADCs, so that's going to mean that he actually gets ahead, and he's still going to go for the same build. In fact, this is pretty much the same build as last time. The only difference is that Fearno has gone for Bluestone instead of the Death Soul Trans that we saw last time around. So, it's very similar to last time, and now Huyi's getting ahead, and that's not something you really want to see, especially trying to fight him.
Something that I find funny is the beginning of this, again, we said your concern was Odin was going to be camping the solo lane too much. We've been seeing Batz on Mexiety on Batz camping solo lane more than we've seen Odin camping solo lane. So maybe that's going to punish NizzlesShizzles, because Mexiety's thinking I need to protect my Aphrodite a little bit more than he maybe needs to. Aphrodite, if she can just make it to level 12, she's almost there. She can clear the wave no problem at the edge of the tower. She can literally stand right at that line where the tower starts shooting at the minions. When the minions get to her, she calls the birds down. Maybe she hits back off, and they're dead. End of story every time. And you don't need anybody to show up. Instead, she's had people... and of course Balentine and his team is harassing Dante. But NizzlesShizzles having to commit so much to this lane as well is awkward, and we are going to see Dante getting caught out here. This equals rally as well. Going to see the ultimate force out very early from Dante, which means that he should be falling. There we go. Mollusk is going to finish him off, though that weakening curse was probably unnecessary, and that will come out from Geb, who will rotate away. Fearno going to actually win the... two players came over to help him out as well. I thought it was a duel. I was wrong. But this could be some pressure in the mid lane as well, as Spitfire have 4 members in the mid lane. Gold Fury actually just now coming up, so they are going to keep an eye out for that, as they do see Janus in the area, so they know that they can't be going for it just yet.
Well, I mean, they know that the Janus ultimate's down, and that was actually the biggest thing, is the fact that NizzlesShizzles couldn't rotate to help out with the Janus, because they were too busy over here. We actually see Fearno trying to do something in the mid lane. DanteLeMidget is going to get a really nice stun, though.
So good timing there. Waiting, saying, okay, wait until the Athena comes down, then throw the taunt. Knowing that the Athena ultimate doesn't scale up very hard, and of course most Athenas don't level the ultimate until the end, because all that it does is increase the damage that it does. Which as a support Athena you don't care about, so you'll be doing a little bit of damage, which shouldn't kill your minions, and they didn't, so her robots were able to then detonate upon her activation and stun both of them for a significant amount of their health bars.
Yeah, it was just nice in general. But, I mean, right now, we're about 11.5 minutes in. Let's actually go and have a look at the graphs quickly as we see the mid camps being taken out by deadlymidget. There was a little bit of contention. Actually,
she steals it away anyways.
Oh, nice. But go and have a quick look at the graphs. We can see that this isn't actually that huge of a lead. It's a decent one. But that's mostly in towers and the extra gold fury early on. This is actually quite an even game almost. But there is a fight happening on the left-hand side.
Yep, Mexiety. I mean, that slow is massive. You can see that we do see Odin leveling that up. However, the Hunbot's ultimate is back. But then there's the ultimate as well. And Janus will just make it out of a Turnip, killing Mexiety. Fearno killing the mollusk. But at the same time, I think they're okay with the trade so far. We're going to see them continuing in. We do see Aphrodite over here. Typhlosion getting taken very, very low. Ultimate coming out from Dante a little bit too late. Fearno going to finish off Typhlosion over. Dante is incredibly low. deadlymidget looking for more. However, this is a 4 versus 2 until Bellona gets here. And even then, it'll be a 3 versus 4, even though those 4 are incredibly low.
Yeah, they're quite low, but they have an Aphrodite. They can heal up. It's not going to matter too much that they are low. They've just got to be careful about Balentine trying to rotate around behind them. We do see Janus recalling because he was low on mana as well. And now I think this is going to be just NizzlesShizzles accepting that they are actually in the benefit of this fight. I don't know why Balentine's trying to solo this right now. This is not a good idea. He is looking to get some aggression on them, but I think the call for Spitfire was a bit mixed there. Now Balentine's going to get taunted in, take quite a bit of damage here. He's got to be quite careful. The bird's ripping through his health. He's already on half health, even with the Scourge healing. He was taking quite a lot.
Yeah, he definitely was being a little bit too aggressive there. And this could now turn into a gold fury for NizzlesShizzles as well. Spitfire being forced to back off here. Going to drop onto the Fearno cam. And Fearno is going to back off from that as well, as we do see Typhlosion. Typhlosion is going to just simply go away. And all 5 members are here. I'd like to just see Spitfire say, look, fine, you guys get this gold fury. We're going to go take the tier 1 tower over in solo lane. But actually, they were able to force them off of it. And we're going to continue to see the gold fury dance.
Yep, the Gold Fury dance is going to happen. Actually, it's going to be a Gold Fury dance in favor of Spitfire this time. Batz is in the area. They've just used the Noir ultimate to just see where everyone is. Janus ultimate ripping through everyone. Mexiety's hit. Brilliant stun. That just destroyed Atomic, and now Rachetier is in the middle of that fight. He can't do anything there. Batz ultimate, but wasted almost. Mexiety falls down. Fearno's already used his dash away. Typhlosion's got to be careful though. He's just going to take too much damage. Really nice triple bounce though. Fearno is going to get hit by the back end of that. DanteLeFargo does have his ultimate still. He's going to get slowed down by Balentine. Balentine does have a heavy hammer. He's got to be quite careful. Spitfire takes out the Gold Fury. Fearno and Dante just looking. They want to fight. They want to go in. They know how low everyone was on the side of Spitfire, but it wasn't enough to be able to actually go in on them. Spitfire take the second Gold Fury of the game.
Indeed, so Spitfire now 2-0 in Gold Fury, sitting at just shy of 6,000 gold in their favor, just shy of 8,000 experience as well, doing quite nicely for themselves as well. And yeah, this is very difficult, as we're actually seeing Balentine stealing away blue buffs as well, and this blue buff is huge for an Aphrodite, so Balentine being able to take this is not good at all for them, and he is just going to get away with that Scourge, so he may pay punish with his life here. He will grab that blue buff. He does not have his ultimate available, is going to beads, get very, very low, and he is going to die right there. But the tower is taken. I'm surprised that we didn't see Mollusk coming over, though he is low, and there are 4 members available actually now from NizzlesShizzles. So he's... why are you dropping your teammate's blue buff? What do you...
I think he just wants he wants damage, and more importantly, he wants to make sure that this isn't going to be taken by NizzlesShizzles. Balentine isn't going to be able to pick it up, but that means that Dante also isn't. Actually, Mollusk getting just a tap of Dante on the side there. That's quite nasty. Typhlosion could get caught out here. He's got to be quite careful. Mexiety is back in the mid lane, and it looks like, yeah, Rachetier is going to look for someone. He's wanting to, not sure what he wants to look for. deadlymidget going to go on to the ultimate. That's the Batz ultimate down as well. Atomic's on very low health, and even though that was the ultimate force from Noir, is more importantly, there's a lot more force from the side of NizzlesShizzles. Fearno forced to jump over the side. He doesn't really want to go into this.
Yeah, so that was huge that they were able to force Fearno away like that. because they knew exactly where he was and they could continue applying pressure. Now they found him again. They're going to look to try to get something here off of him. We do see the slow. We are going to see the detonation as well onto him. He's getting low, but he is getting very aggressive and pushing back onto deadlymidget. Now we do see Atomic here using his ultimate to engage. Typhlosion getting low, but is going to pop that anti-healing curse, weakening and do some work. However, Fearno is out of there, but now we do see the ultimate coming up from Odin Cage. Odin Cage going to blow up Atomic, and now Rachetier is in trouble as well. Rachetier going to try and get out of there. However, DanteLeFargo is going to be able to apply the healing onto him, but we are going to see Mollusk continuing to apply damage. Beautiful Eagles Rally. deadlymidget going to finish off Mexiety on the top side of the fight. Rachetier is going to fall to the Scourge from the Bellona. That triple tap not quite going to make it. However, Mollusk diving again behind this tier 2 tower. His teammates are too low to push everyone below half health. Detonations do get the stun off onto Fearno. Mollusk going to get him some more more damage done onto Fearno, but not quite enough. And now they've effectively proxy farmed an entire wave, and Typhlosion needs to disengage.
Fearno didn't actually get hit by the Mollusk Bird Bomb, otherwise he would have died.
I thought he did. I thought I saw his health go
No,
down.
he didn't. It was a perfectly timed jump, just got him away, and now Mollusk is going to dive back in. New ultimate was active as well. This is definitely dead at DanteLeFargo, and now... yeah, Fearno's got to be careful sitting in the tier 2 tower. Doesn't really want to go too far up. That's another tier 1 tower going in favor to Spitfire. Janus ultimate used as well. Actually, you're going to be able to get Typhlosion a little bit too backbaited, and now Balentine as well could be falling down. He's got to use his escape pretty quickly. No, Atomic can't quite find the rest of the damage.
It's a Bellona. He's got plenty of base speed. It's not like yeah, it's a Janus with some decent mobility, but again, nothing crazy. So with that said, now 13-8 at 17, almost 18 minutes in, and again we're seeing that same thing where mid-game Spitfire turns their game on and just goes to town after that second Gold Fury. I think that seems to be the key to this week, is whichever team takes the second Gold Fury really starts to go into time to win this mode. And even if they're even, it's just a question of which team manages to make the right move first to dictate the pace of the game. Even though we've seen a lot of similar decision making, gonna see the ultimate from the Odin, that Cage gonna drop out, and then he's just gonna leap away. But now we're gonna see Balentine re-engaging. This Typhlosion get a Cataclysm, only going to hit one. Fearno is gonna beat and get out of there. Sunbreak is going to do a ton of damage. DanteLeFargo's ultimate used as well. Mexiety very low. This new ultimate's gonna do huge double kill for him, and Balentine gonna get DanteLeFargo for the killing team. Double kill on Balentine as well as he gets Fearno. Everybody down except for the Athena, and this is going to be a mid-tier 2 tower, if not a Phoenix, as well as they do have these minions that they can use to remove the protections before the wave shows up. Athena, good 3-man taunt, but she may die for it with the Odin Cage. 4, oh, yep, okay, 4. And this is Surrender started.
They're going to go for the win. They're doing 15. A lot of damage to the Titan. It's not going to be up, and actually the surrender vote comes through. Spitfire win the grand finals 2-0 against the NizzlesShizzles.
That is very impressive. I thought that it would be close. You know, you had 15 seconds until Atomic came up, and then Atomic could have maybe put on enough damage to try and stop them. There was only half a wave there at the time, but it turned out to be enough, and so Spitfire was able to take that at exactly 19 minutes. And again, like we said, not that NizzlesShizzles did anything wrong, maybe some drafting mistakes, but Spitfire were able to hit the mid-game, start dictating the flow, and go from there. Everybody had great GPM. 390, 398 on the losing team. The lowest on the winning team, of course, though, was 444. So Spitfire doing a great job. Again, that second Gold Fury seemed to be the key.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, I will say, one thing that I think Weekend has got right is that there are certain key team fights. It's the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. If you start winning the 15, the 20, and the 25, you effectively are going to win from there on out. You don't usually lose after that point, and as you can see, they won the 15-minute fight, which was the second Gold Fury, and they didn't even let it get to the 20-minute. They didn't let it get to the 20-minute.
Well, they had the 20-minute fight. It was just at 19 minutes, and they won it.
Yeah.
So
kind of.
Okay, fine. It was the 15-minute team fight that went on for 4 minutes.
Yeah, it was just like, if you have that 15-minute team fight and you win that, you then get the Gold Fury, you have the potential of getting the first couple of Tier 2 towers, you effectively get about a 5k gold lead off of that 15 minutes. It's quite a big thing, and then if you can't, if you're either catching up at that point, you then go for the 20-minute fight and then get Fire Giant afterwards and an extra Tier 2. Or 25, that's like, if you're really far behind, you can then go for the multiple tier 2s, multiple phoenixes, and then get the last fire giant and go for the win. That's sort of the position that you are in by the end of that. So it is kind of a very solid actual thing to go by. Just remember 10, 15, 20, 25. Those are the team fights you see, and those are usually the 15 onwards are the team fights where you start to win games. But very well done to Spitfire. That was a very
well
good
done
game
indeed. And they were what, a 7th, 8th seed, something like that.
They were 7th, I believe. Yes.
I'm checking really quickly.
Let me just check.
They were tied for 8th. Which bumps them to tied for 7th if Inverse is in fact out. Again, we're waiting on that. Of course, first place nets them 100 points.
Yes.
So that's going to put them up in contention for second and third place, depending on how everything else fell out. So this really shook things up this week, and everything is a whole lot closer. Now we probably have tied across the board for down to 5th, like first, second, third.
Yeah.
Risky Behavior might still have enough points to be first on their own, but...
Yeah. Just in general, this is going to be a very close tournament, and there is now 1 week left of this open bracket. 1 week. And the biggest thing, I was talking to Opon before we started this, technically, a new team, if they entered next week and they got first place...
They would still make it.
They would still make it in. So... If you are a new team and you think you're that good, go for it. Just try and do it. If you're not, if you don't think you're that good, go for it anyway, because it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, and who knows? You might be an upset story. We've seen upset stories left and right. EU.
Oh God, EU.
You've got tied for 8th, down through up to 6th. Everybody's got less than 40 points. So
yeah,
it's crazy.
EU. I know it's a little bit early for you guys. It sort of starts at. I think it's sort of 7 in the morning. You guys should totally be there. Just get up and watch it.
Oh, for 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Eastern.
9 a.m. 9 a.m. Eastern. So it's 9 a.m. Eastern and about 7 a.m. Pacific, isn't it?
6.
6. Okay.
6.
But
you
just
can math,
get
okay.
up there. Yeah, get there, watch it. It is amazing. EU Challenges has actually been by far one of my most favorite tournaments to watch. And you should just go and watch it, because it is just amazing to watch. And now, we're going to be in the final couple of weeks. Everyone's trying their hardest, and everyone's trying to do what they can to get into this top 8. Because the top 8 on week 6 will be going into a round robin. There'll be a double round robin. We'll have 2 weeks of that. And then the top 4 of those will be going into a single elimination tournament, which will be... for that last final week, and it's going to be big, and whoever wins that wins $5,000, I believe it is.
That's a lot.
Huge.
There's over $10,000 between NA and EU, so there's some money on the line here. So, and then of course also there is seeding from this into play-ins for SPL Season 3. So there's that on the line as well. So we appreciate you all for tuning in today. Do tune in tomorrow if you can. It's insane. Also be sure to check out challengercup.info for more information there. And if you're interested, come by next week as well. I don't remember who is on the docket for next Saturday, but it should be a good show either way. So again,
like just in general, these are going to be some great tournaments that you should definitely come out and watch. It's going to be pretty high up. It's not going to be SBL level of stuff, but it is going to be very good entertainment nonetheless. And tomorrow, so tomorrow for casting, you are going to see Soza and Shadowboy. And then next week, it's going to be Soza and Target again for the casting for NA, and Ranconius and Shadowboy for the EU. So, really good casters. Shout out to Target, who was casting today with me. And, yeah, you should totally come by and watch it. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
Alright, so once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. My name is MTarget, been casting with Lord WizKid. This has been week number 4 of Challenger Cup, NA edition. Head over to Smite Game and enjoy the SPL action. I believe we are heading into North America shortly.
Yeah.
So, have a good one. We'll see you all.